versus Wade, evolutionary sense-making from polarization to paradox, re-entering the field of value.
I am Kristina Tahel. Here I recapitulate pivotal sections of first principles in direct quotes from Dr. Marc Gafni or Barbara Marx Hubbard, woven together from the prior week's One Mountain, Many Paths broadcast.
In America last week, Roe versus Wade, the constitutional right to abortion was overturned. In the clash between the pro-life position and the pro-choice position, several things are happening that need to be pointed out. One, each side is claiming a value as the ultimate value, and in some sense or another, dismissing the value of the other side. The pro-life people are saying the value is life, but particularly they mean the life of the unborn baby as the primary value. But actually, what they're doing is hijacking the value of life, turning that into an absolute value and ignoring a second value, the value of choice. The pro-choice people are doing the same thing. They're picking a value, choice. It's the women's right to choose. But actually, in doing so, they're decontextualizing choice from the larger field of values, which includes life, and making choice the primary value. Whenever you decontextualize a value from the larger field of value, it doesn't live in a creative tension with the other values that create a new whole. You create outrageous pain. Both the pro-life and the pro-choice movement have stepped out of the field of value. We want to see if we can find it deeper than deep and actually do evolutionary sense-making to re-enter the field of value, to evolve the source code of consciousness and culture, and actually tell a new story of value out of which synergy can emerge. Choice and life are both first principles and first values. How we live that story of value is how we show up, how we make policy, how we engage. We can't just change policy. It's not going to work. We understand that, and although infrastructure responses are important and valid, and social structure changes of laws are important and valid, they depend on superstructure. Superstructure is the worldview that society is rooted in. Superstructure is what we call the story of value that a society is rooted in. This is what we mean by a source code evolution. If we don't go to root causes, if we don't go back to source and actually reclaim story of value, it's not going to work. The core to actually generating a new story of value is actually recognizing and articulating a vision of value which is intrinsic to cosmos and evolves. It's evolving value, but there's intrinsic values. Once we have evolving values that are intrinsic, then we are in a field of allurement. Cosmo-erotic humanism is the overarching story of value. In cosmo-erotic humanism, we articulate a vision of beauty which allows contradiction to turn not into polarization, but to turn into paradox. When we have intimacy between values, we can create a shared identity between two opposing values in the context of otherness, where the integrity of each value is honored. The Garden of Eden is not paradise. The Garden of Eden is paradox. From that paradox, we can love each other. Love always holds paradox. Paradox is uncertainty, and from that place of epistemic humility and uncertainty, we can create new synergies and new beauties that are unimaginable.